Welcome to Great Neighborhood Cooks. I'm your host, Rob Kircher. Each week I'm going to be knocking on the doors of amazing cooks who live down the street or around the corner. Who knows, maybe from your own neighborhood. For the most part, they're unsung cooks known mainly to their family and friends. Or they might be cooks from that great little hideaway restaurant that we love to discover. Either way, their relative obscurity is about to change as I bring them into the spotlight. So who will be the next discovered great neighborhood cook? Well, stay tuned to find out.
Yes, come in. Y bienvenidos, as we would say in Spain. Oh, it's beautiful.
Wow.
Thank you.
Fantastic.
Right?
Oh my God,
I know.
Thank you.
I love your herbs.
Oh, thank you
Those
very
will come
much.
in handy, I'm sure.
Because I'm from the Canary Islands, I'm going to prepare some.
Canary Islands, I love that.
Yes,
Sounds exotic, doesn't
Yeah,
it?
it
They
does.
are really
Well,
exotic.
I have a pretty good idea, but exactly where is the Canary Islands? Where is it?
they are off the coast of Africa, in the south of Spain. So actually, we're closer to Africa than to mainland Spain.
Ah.
But we are Spanish and we speak Spanish with our own words and way of saying things, but
And your way of eating.
and our way of eating, of course. And even between the islands, regardless that they are really close, we speak in a different way and we cook our meals in a completely different way.
These are all the ingredients for everything that we're going to use for cooking.
Yeah.
You'll see a common thread here, which is garlic. You know, we are Spaniards, so it is Mediterranean, and we love our garlic,
Look
right?
at all those beautiful mushrooms.
Rabbit.
Yeah, which is
Crimson pepper.
yeah, and then also we've got some fresh thyme, some bay leaves, some additional oregano. This is the mojo that Maria prepares.
So Tony, introduce us to your wonderful guests. I know you got some pretty amazing people here.
Absolutely.
So let's meet them, okay?
Okay, perfect. Yeah, special guys. This is Victor Valdivia.
Pleasure to meet you.
Oh, Victor,
Hi,
how are
Victor
you?
Valdivia here.
Pleasure.
Nice to meet you. I'm the head sommelier at a private club here in Naples. Born and raised in New York City. Been a sommelier for 22 years. Just became a member of the Shen, and I got to meet Tony here and his lovely wife Maria. I'm super excited to try the wines and some great food.
Well, we're happy you're here. This is
Thank
gonna
you
be
for
so
coming.
fun.
Thank you very much.
And who do we have next?
Fernando Zavala.
Fernando Zavala, nice to
Pleasure,
meet you.
pleasure.
I'm a local architect. I've been in Naples since 2000. I'm from Argentina originally, and I was lucky to meet Maria and Tony recently. And so, thank you for having me here. I also look forward to trying this.
Great to
By the
have
way,
you.
part of your hair is a little out of
Oh,
place there,
God.
but okay, yeah.
Rafael.
How are you?
Felicia.
Raphael, how are you?
We do restaurant marketing and culinary events here in the area. So we do Naples, Fort Myers, Cape Coral Restaurant Week. We founded Bacon Fest. We do Everglades Seafood Festival, and we work with the best restaurants in the area.
The bar is high here. We
They
got
actually pay you for that, right?
Yeah,
You get paid to do
listen,
that.
I've had worse jobs.
Amazing. And I know this guy.
Mr. Roger Weatherburn
Give
Baker.
me a pleasure, pleasure.
Tony. I'm the president of the Naples chapter of the Scendo Rotisserie, which is a worldwide food and wine gourmet society. We have 25,000 members in 80 countries.
Wow.
This is the easy part of the mackerel. But the funny thing about it is that they do it whole. These are really small mackerels, and you can see because they have the bone inside, which normally you get, it's just a fillet.
That's right, yeah.
Now I'm going to ask you a really stupid question. I thought mackerel was a bigger fish.
It can be, but
Yeah.
don't forget if it had a head and a
Right.
tail on it, it would be a little bigger. But
yeah.
A little
sometimes
bit about you and your lovely wife. What did you actually meet her?
You know, we met in Madrid, and we were in a champagne club, and it was
Champagne Club.
that's a good club to
yeah,
belong to.
it was.
Champagne Club.
Yeah, it was kind of like a social network, but you actually, you know, you meet in real places. You go out and have a glass of wine or a meal, and you talk to other people. And I could always, you know, hear my mother's voice in the back of my head saying in Spanish, "You need to meet someone with your own interests, common interests." And of course, when I saw the Champagne Club and I saw a picture of Maria's face, I said, "There she is. That's my common interest." So.
Well, you've done a fine job of.
Yeah, massacring the the caballa. All right. We love the idea of tapas, and you know, and people having the opportunity to try small plates with some wine. And I kind of miss that in Spain, where you go out to a little tavern or somewhere, because you don't really need to have, especially at night. We have, in Spain we have a saying where you want to eat breakfast like a king, eat lunch like a prince, and have dinner like a beggar. and that's the right way to do it.
I like that.
It's all, France, Italy, Spain, we all share a common thread, which food is such an important part of our life.
Right.
And it's,
We're still the new colony.
We are the new colony. We really are. There's no question about it. Wow. Well, Tony, I got to tell you something. It's looking fantastic.
I know.
The presentation
This
is
is
all part of this.
this
as
is a
well, right?
really easy
Yeah,
thing. I thought
beautiful.
maybe that was going to get chopped up, but
No,
no,
no.
you just leave it all by itself.
yeah. And then the hard part would be the tomatoes.
And then
Yeah, exactly. And then with the tomatoes.
Some of our TV audience doesn't know about that, but
I
these
don't know
have
if I can make
become,
this comparison. It's sort of like sushi. I mean, the way these
Yeah.
are making it, right?
it just makes placement of small items like this much easier.
The problem is getting them to stay on.
I know.
Yes.
And then do a little toast, because this is
Perfect.
certainly.
Come join us. Thank you.
I won't get into the humble sauce.
And then last but not least,
First sauce.
I'm gonna put just and this is the hard part. This is interesting. People will be fascinated with this. So, which this is like, if
Yeah.
you can imagine.
smell that?
Yeah. Oh, yes, but you'll see.
It's highly
That
concentrated.
is insane.
Wow.
That's really good.
And this is spectacular on, believe it or not, like a steak. It's so good.
Really?
Yeah, just very little, because obviously these are,
A little goes a long way, huh?
yes, absolutely. Okay.
Ready?
Bon appetit.
1, 2,
2, 3.
Oh my goodness.
Yummy.
Tony, that is superb. I mean, really superb.
It's so good, I'm wearing it
Wow.
in my hair.
Turn, Maria.
Yes.
And what are you going to be doing for us?
Right, so I'm gonna start with the fish croquettes. And fish croquettes is really a little bit hassle to do them, but then they're really tasty, so it's worth the effort.
Some garlic here.
Yeah, a little bit
Yeah.
of garlic and cayenne pepper
And
to give it a
cayenne.
little bit of
Yeah.
kick.
We like a little kick.
So depending how the quantity of fish you have, for example, I'm using this quantity, then you calculate more or less amount of onions that you put. So
So it looks like equal amounts.
yeah,
Yep.
kind of. So
Okay.
because you want to have like a nice mix of fish and onion.
And Maria putting the salt in, or is
So,
that pepper?
salt and pepper.
Pepper? Okay.
We don't want to add too much salt into the onion, because remember that the fish
The fish is already going to
has already some salt, so we don't want them like that salty.
So just about a half a cup of,
Yeah, I'm actually going to use this.
so that goes right in there. Now that's something that I'm learning that's new.
I've never seen that.
Yeah, the thing is, if you add flour while it's hot,
Yeah.
it's going to make like a dough ball.
Yes,
It'll
that's
like
true,
it. And
but I've never made a roux
oh,
with wine. I've always done
you.
it with water.
okay, yeah, okay, that's true. I didn't think about that. Maybe I'm
Sometimes we do
actually-
things in the kitchen, we just don't realize that.
yeah. And I need where's my salt?
It doesn't take long for those flames to open.
It does.
Well,
actually,
these
yeah.
actually take a little while. Yeah, they
Yeah.
do. Normally they wouldn't, but these
Wrong,
take.
Rob, that they take them.
Okay,
I
so
know.
now is the
They're not
time.
like mussels. They
They're
just
like
take-
mussels.
Now is the time to
So
add the
you're
fish.
adding your fish now to your
That has been
beautiful-
already.
And Maria's
sauteed.
adding her fish now, right?
Yep.
Yeah, so the fish is already shredded, but once you put it under the pan together with the onion, you help yourself with a spoon.
And about how much fish do you have there, Maria? What is that?
Looks like about a cup,
A little
Like
bit of
a,
cup?
yeah.
cup of onions and a cup of fish.
Ooh,
Looks so good.
Tony, that looks amazing. What do you think?
It's good. I just want to
You-
check
you-
for the
you
salt. I
approve?
always
Yeah.
worry about the salt.
Yeah.
That's okay. Yeah, perfect. It's good. I may add a little bit more wine because it's taking its time to.
Maria's just looks amazing. Now, could you substitute I love cilantro. Could you put cilantro into the parsley, or would that be too
You
strong?
could, but it isn't Spanish.
You could, but then it
Yeah.
wouldn't be like.
It wouldn't
as
be
in-
Spanish.
Yeah,
That would
because
be more
it,
Mexican.
Mexican.
Yeah.
With a little bit more
We already
wine.
have the olive
They're
oil
all
in
opening
there.
up now.
Yeah, beautiful.
Just that
Wow.
touch of
A couple
additional
more,
wine.
another
Yep.
Oh, my
probably
goodness.
Just
half a
enough-
minute. and I
Exactly,
think you're
yep.
there.
can I have some salt on it?
Oh, salt, yep, sorry.
Thank you.
Tony, we have to get into your second tapas here. It looks so fantastic. Let's serve everyone, but let's also have a toast because we're using a different kind of wine now.
Yeah, Amontillado, which is a little bit more aged than the one we were having before, as you can tell by the color and the taste.
Actually, you have a little pre-cup
I
there.
know you do. 2 hours.
Pre-glass or pre-cupper.
It is, the
Not
mo-
to be confused with cupcake. That's something totally different. Okay, so, and again, these are little neck clams, correct?
little neck clams, cooked.
And
And do we eat these with our fingers?
Absolutely.
yeah.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, you want to eat these with
We
your
have to
fingers.
remember that in Spain, when we eat tapas, we use our fingers all the time.
all the time.
Because it's, I mean, we consider it's like an informal way to share the food. So it's just like you put the plates on the middle and everybody takes from the plate with a finger.
All right, so let's have a toast, okay? Wonderful.
Salud.
Salud.
And
Salud.
this is,
Salud.
another
Salud.
audible sharing.
Salud.
Let's see if I can get it here, guys. There we go. One more. There we go.
Salud.
All right.
Yum.
So this, and of course this lends itself with dipping bread as well. You know, typically you would dip your bread in the sauce, Maria.
I'm okay. Sam.
Okay.
I gotta tell you something, you guys are absolutely amazing. These first two tapas have just been insane. I mean, this is just so good. It's almost too good, Tony.
Never too good.
That's it.
Oh wow, that's good.
You happy?
Well, we're back from our break and we're here again with Maria. And Maria, you're doing another just an amazing tapas. Tell us what you're doing.
Yes, so this is the croquette dough that we were doing on the first part. So I let them to cool off because this needs to be cooled before you form the croquette. So basically, what you do is just you take a little bit,
Like a little ball.
yeah, you do it like this in your hand.
So if I use it in my hand, would it be a bigger
A
ball?
big, yes.
That's
So
a
if you
big
want bigger
croquette.
croquettes, we will do it for you.
Big Mac croquette.
So when you were sauteing the onions and the fish and adding the parsley to it, you also added in flour
Yes.
to thicken it up.
That's it.
Okay, so you added about 5 tablespoons or 6 tablespoons of flour to that, and you just kept cooking it and stirring it.
That's it.
And then you let it cool, and this is the stage we're at now.
That's the stage we're at
Okay,
now.
perfect.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And then you do this.
Thank you for that.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Ruth.
So this is like an egg-shaped.
Yeah. And then you do this.
Yep. This is the traditional shape of croquettes.
Yes.
Yes.
Absolutely.
And again, there are people that like their croquette big.
Yep.
I particularly like them like this size.
You
So-
know I have to get in.
Ruth has got it.
Good.
and that's what
I
love
love
about
that.
her. She has to get in
She
there.
gets stuck in. I love it.
But she does it so well. That's not bad.
Well, the same. Remember that everything inside is already cooked.
Yeah.
So it means that you don't need to really cook the croquette.
You
The
just
only
want to brown
You
it.
want to brown
yeah,
it a little bit.
you just want
Okay.
to brown them and that's it.
Wow.
So let's see if our oil is ready. It is.
Yeah.
So we're gonna start putting our croquettes in there.
And again, this is breadcrumbs, or is that?
Breadcrumbs, yes. So this is just 1 egg. So for the amount of dough that we have, 1 egg is just enough. So,
You like being bossed around.
so
No.
when we see that it's getting
Oh,
brown,
look at that! Look at that!
we
wow.
turn it.
Wow! 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 Wow!
So remember, you just need to turn it
Perfect.
once. Okay,
Look at that!
just doing it with my left hand. And not left hand.
You can tell a chef.
That's it.
It's not quite ready. Yeah, don't try this at home.
No, exactly.
Definitely not. fantastic.
Yeah, I hope you enjoy.
Sample them?
Yes, of course. And again, with your fingers.
And again, I love the whole idea to use your fingers.
Be careful, they're hot,
Yes, be careful.
Yes.
They're hot.
and they hold their heat.
Yes, they do. You're right.
Oh my gosh. Yummy.
I can't even express it. It's so good.
Really good. So tasty.
Tony, you're a lucky man.
Yes, I am. I know this.
So right now we're going to be doing a wonderful dish. I call it hot and pepper. You call it something else, right?
Marinated rabbit.
Yeah, so it's a rabbit. So Maria's going to be doing a rabbit for us. So what's the first thing we do, Maria?
Right, so important thing about the rabbit when we cook the rabbit is that we have to leave it marinate for overnight. So I prepared it so that it can be tasty for our guests today, but I'm gonna show you here which is the marinade made from. So I'm gonna start here, just mixing all the ingredients so that you know what is in this bowl. So, because we are in Spain, we use a lot of olive oil. So we add some olive oil. You don't want virgin olive oil because it will be too strong for this.
Too much taste.
Yes,
Okay.
yes. So you want the plain olive oil.
And that's a lot of garlic.
Yeah, so depending the amount
They
of...
use a lot of garlic.
yes,
They
Which I
we love
love.
garlic.
I love.
Yeah.
Help yourself there.
So it looks like about a third of a cup of olive oil,
Mhm.
and now maybe almost as much of chopped garlic.
Yeah, so then we add some
Thyme.
Right?
thyme, fresh thyme. If you don't have fresh thyme,
You want
Thyme.
thyme, you can use a dry one, but...
You don't put a lot in there.
Well, with fresh,
And then we add some oregano.
yep, dried oregano.
Mm-hmm. And then, in Spain we love paprika. That's what we call pimentón.
So this is the heat.
Yes. And then the last touch is to add a little bit of white wine.
So no sherry in this one.
No,
wine.
no.
Yep.
So you mix. And then when you do that, your mix, you see if it needs a little bit more of oil, maybe a little bit more of paprika. So for example, in here, we can see that it's not as red as the one we have in here. So that means that we need to add a little bit more of
More.
pimentón.
Rabbit is one of my favorite dishes, and so I don't think I've ever had rabbit the way she's preparing it.
No, I haven't
good.
tried it.
Unbelievable.
This is
gonna
really
be a real
typical in the
treat.
Canaries, really typical in the Canaries. So we use the same marinade for tuna in the Canaries.
You know, I think your marriage, you and Maria, was sort of made in culinary heaven. You know, I mean, the way you guys work together and just the creative aspects you bring to your cooking, the uniqueness is just amazing.
It's an important part of our life. We really do. For us, it's one of the common core values that bring us together. We enjoy. We always have. And I'll tell you, when I first met Maria, she invited me to her home for dinner. After we met, and she cooked a 3-course meal, printed menu, paired with Canary wines from the
printed
Canary
menu?
Islands. Yes, it was spectacular. I still have it. And I said, "That's it. This is the one."
This is it.
I was like, I
When
knew.
they print the menu, then you know. This is
Yeah.
like
It was
Okay.
a
It's a big deal. Looks beautiful.
this rabbit with another wonderful
Yeah.
rabbit.
Look at that.
Wow.
So Tony, we're pairing this wonderful rabbit with another wine, right?
Oh,
That's right.
smells
This is a
divine.
Grenache, or as we would say in Spain, garnacha, which is from old vines. I think these are like 80, 90-year-old vines, and it's.
You are
I
all
think it's
in
a great
for a
wine,
treat.
spectacular.
Well, I
you know,
haven't tried it, but just the color alone is just amazing. But
Yeah.
all right, let's have another toast to this amazing
Yeah.
third dish, I guess, or fourth dish. It's the hot and pepper, and you
Yes.
call it rabbit, right?
Yeah.
You give it another name.
Thank you.
That's toast. And we use our fingers, don't we?
Of course.
Salud, salud.
Yes. So
There you
with
go.
your fingers, grab it, bite it,
do
and
it.
enjoy.
Put it over the sink.